Good morning. Just setting up my phone here on my mount so that we can get started. Oop, I'm breaking stuff. There are some people, it's rumored, have fancy remote controls to do stuff. Okay, let's see. Let me get this up on the screen. Sorry for the wobble. Wobble, wobble. Well, that is a terrible picture for the live stream. Hello and good morning. Let's see. That kind of shows my craft mat. Okay. Nobody's here yet but me. I will get my mess cleaned up that I was working on last night. Anybody that watches the replay will see what I've been working on. I've been working with the Paper Tray Ink Cozy Details die set to make little coffee cozies. And here's an example. I just did this with the ugliest color felt. I'm just kind of playing around with it. I am setting this project, it's easy to figure out. I'm setting this project aside for now just because I don't have any embroidery floss. I used regular thread and I don't like the way that that looks when I was stitching it up. So I wanted to grab some embroidery floss and try again and see how that works. But we've got a little stray thread here, but I've already tested it out and it fits our travel bags. But I thought this would make a cute Christmas gifts and stocking stuffers for my family this year. It's just a very basic. You cut the two large panels from a piece of felt, and I have this stack of felt that I got a while back. This color variety of felt. And then you just sew the ends together, and then you can put little decorative, you can also choose not to, but you can put little decorative things on them, and there's even a little die that makes a little tag that you can sew right into the binding here. So that's what I was kind of working with last night. That and the lighting is really bad in here at night. I don't know if you remember in my other house before we moved here, I had a large a huge light over my head, like a huge thing, and I could craft a lot easier at night because I could see better, and I don't have that here. So it's a little bit hard to craft here at night. I just have my little light, which isn't enough to really illuminate the whole area. So the lighting was bad, but I was having fun. So I'm going to clean this up. What I would like to do today, that I have been dying to get to, is I want to play with the September Hero Arts Kit, and I haven't had a chance to play with it yet. I really wanted to play with the Daniel Smith watercolors, so I thought that we would do some watercoloring today. I'm a little breathless. I'm sorry for my gasping. I've had a cold for a while, and it seems to have, even though it was manageable and just like a sinus cold, it seems to have in the last 2 days moved down into my chest. So now I have a cough, and my lungs are involved, and it's uncomfortable, but I'll live. It's not the end of the world, but I know that I do sound yucky. Hopefully I'll remember not to blow my nose on stream. Okay, so I'm just cleaning up some of this stuff. This is one of the little tags that cuts out from that kit, and you can take the little shape out of it, which is really cute, and then you sew it right into the binding here. So I have this whole stack of felt, and what I thought that I would do one of these nights is just die cut tons and tons and tons of stuff to make these cozies, and once I get some embroidery thread, and just kind of make myself a little to-go kit to keep in the car. I should have plenty of time before Christmas to make coffee cozy gifts. The felt, however, keeps leaving little pieces all over my desk, and all of the little holes, the stitch holes, cut out with the die, and they make a huge mess. Just a little FYI. But I am having a lot of fun with this die set. It is still available. Let me see. I'll bring up oh my god, that was so dumb. I just shut the wrong thing. I will bring up, let me look at their website, and I'll link it if you're interested in checking this set out. It comes in 2 sets. It's the actual cozy set, and then the accessory set with the little decorative pieces that you can use with it. So let me pull it up. We will have a peek. So there's the, sorry, I can't breathe. Coffee Cozy Die Collection, which is these 3 pieces right here. And this cuts your basic, the 2 main pieces for the Coffee Cozy. And then this part right here is the add-on part where you run it through a second time to put the stitch holes, which I suppose is optional. So this set is still available, and it's $16 for these 3 pieces. And then there's the add-on set, which is these 7 pieces. And I suppose it could be even more because you could separate these if you wanted to. But then there's the add-on set here, which cuts different, a star, a heart, and a tree that you can put on here. And then there's a second die that puts the holes on the actual panel for the Coffee Cozy as well, so that you can sew it together, and then the little die here that does the labels. So this is the Coffee Cozy Details Die Collection, and this one is $10. So it's not a bad deal, 26 bucks for all these pieces. And it's fun. And then of course you'll need some felt, and I would highly recommend embroidery floss and not just regular sewing thread that I was trying to use. I actually had a ton of embroidery floss, and I literally just destashed it before we moved. Talk about kicking myself over doing something. I was like, oh, I'm never going to need this again. Guess what? Now I need to go to Michael's and get some thread. Anyway, so let's have that cleared up a little bit. And I'll link those if anyone is interested in checking this out. Let's see. This is the... I'm on the computer, which is right here next to me. Here is the Coffee Cozy set. And here are the details dies. So not a bad deal. And if you're watching the replay of this live stream, you would just, I'm putting the links to the things right in the description there for you. You can have a peek. Okay, sorry, a little breathless. So I wanted to, again, let's get this out. Wanted to play with the kit, the September kit, and I did do an unboxing of this. If you're interested, I do have a video. These are the little plastic, translucent little post-it notes that you can use to decorate. Here, of course, is the thing that started this all. This is the Daniel Smith watercolor sampler dot sheet here. Oh, we're upside down and backwards. Hang on just a sec. I didn't even notice. Didn't even notice. Let's move it the other way, and I may have to flip. Move and flip. Where is that button? Hang on. Oh. Hello, it's me. Let's see. How is that? That should be better. Sorry about that. That's the one thing I forgot to check, was if it was backwards or not. We don't have fancy professional looking things on here. We just have my cell phone on a mount. All right, let me move this and see if that helps. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. So anyway, here are the translucent leaf notes, the Daniel Smith watercolor dot sheet, teeny tiny little sampler paintbrushes. I guess we'll use, I have real paintbrushes, but we could use these just for fun. There's 6 colors, but they only give you 5. Go figure. We've got 2 different kinds of ribbon that came in the kit. We, of course, have the very large and gorgeous stamp set. Not even sure what to do. I thought it would be fun and more organic if I didn't really have a plan. If I just cracked open the kit and started playing with it. And of course it comes with all these coordinating dies, and it comes with the fancy frame as well. I'm probably not going to focus on die cutting. I will just play with the stamps, I think. Let me get this out of the way. So let's do some watercoloring. I'd like to do heat embossing. I'm terrible with staying in the lines, so the little edge that you get with heat embossing when watercoloring helps me a lot. But I thought it would be fun to play with a couple different versions of color and with the heat embossing, so I brought out my gold and my clear and my white. So we'll figure something out from there. And what I didn't grab though was Versamark, so let me just grab that really quick. Let's see, there are a ton of different images in here. I'm not even sure where to start. Let's grab my stamp positioner. I'm using the large Tim Holtz stamp positioner. This is made from by Tonic. I can feel a little debris left on this, probably from the last time I was heat embossing, so let me just clean this up really quick. I just saw that little tiny piece of felt from it's messy, it gets everywhere. Let's see, let's grab some watercolor paper. This is Canson XL watercolor paper. I buy it in the large, I think it's 9 by 12, 9 by 12 inch pads. And I cut them into quarter sheets so that they're all ready for working with. And then I keep them in this little bag, and I just cut the watercolor word off with one of the packaging. Just to remind me which one was the watercolor paper at a glance, because if you're not holding it, sometimes you can't tell. Alright, so let's just crack open these stamps, and what I like to do, especially when I don't know what I'm doing, is that I will just stamp everything to play with. And then we're going to do multiple different sheets of everything, because I want different versions of everything. So let's just start right over here and just fit as much as we can. Hi, Bunny Rabbit. Bunny Rabbit just hopped by. I don't know if I'm going to get these all into one sheet. I probably should have started with the larger stamps. No. I don't know if you can hear the rabbit. I'm in the living room here. My daughter's bedroom doorway is this way. I don't know, probably 10 feet to the right of my desk. And the rabbit is not allowed to play in her room because my daughter is a slob. And she leaves clothes and toys all over the floor. So anything you leave on the floor is like giving the rabbit permission to eat it. And that is why the rabbit is not allowed in my daughter's room. So we have a baby gate set up so that Daisy can't get in there. And she's mad, and she's rattling the baby gate, trying to get it down so she can go into my daughter's room and eat all those tasty toys she sees all over the place in there. So this definitely is going to take several different couple different pages to get everything covered, which is fine. Okay, so we're probably going to stamp out 3 different versions of each in 2 pages. Where did I put? Oh, here it is. Little piece of fuzz or something. I really do like this bag instead of the, what was it, the tool with the bristles, because my bristles kept falling out. I have my iced coffee. I'm going to take a sip here. I went out early this morning because I had to run to the post office. Let me grab something really quick. Let me grab another coffee filter so I can have multiple going at once. Anyway, I had to go to the post office, and I figured while I was at the post office, I might as well get a coffee. And while I was getting a coffee, I might as well take a quick waltz downtown and hit all the Pokestops, because we're probably one of the last families in the world that still play Pokemon Go. We love Pokemon Go. I don't know anything about the Pokemon world. I know my stepsons played the games when they were younger, so I'm not really into the Pokemon stuff. However, I do love Pokemon Go. I like walking around and catching things. And so I don't know anything about the actual Pokemon themselves, except they're cute. And I like to collect things, so I try to get them all. Oh man, my nails look like crap. Excuse me. I gotta do my nails at some point. And I'm going to double and possibly even triple stamp, because not only are these stamps new, I am stamping on watercolor paper. So it's a little bit more porous than other surfaces. I should have gotten a tray to set everything out onto, and then I will I will heat emboss it at once. And get it all over with. Alright, so this is going to be white. Heat emboss white. I figured I'd do white, black, and gold. Different versions of them all. It's been on my to-do list and to buy list to get Tupperware containers for my white embossing powder. I have for my clear, because I probably use clear the most, but the second most is white, so now I should probably be working on getting a... Some of my flowers here did not stamp out very well, I guess. I don't know if you can tell because it's white, but I have a lot of just area here where it didn't. I guess 3 times stamping wasn't enough. That's fine. Obviously, I can't do anything about it now. It's fine. For my white embossing powder, what I have is the Wow brand embossing powder. It's super fine, opaque, bright white. I like it. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside. And I'll stamp out another one. Hopefully better this time. Get another page of watercolor paper. Excuse me. Try to get the smooth side. Oops. And let's do the gold, I guess. For my gold today, I'm using the Nuvo embossing powder. This, I really do love this very much, and this bottle has lasted forever. I did a whole set of wedding invitations and baby shower invitations with this, and I still have some left. This color is called Classic Gold. Gorgeous. I really do consider it to be a classic gold. It's a gold. It's not a yellow gold. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, I think it was this flower was the one that I was having some difficulties with. This is my new pad of Versamark ink still. I can't find my other one that I had one before we moved. I love this stamp press. I didn't think that I would, honestly. It is such a thick, heavy, quality plastic. Love it. Okay. Okay. Let's do gold. Sorry, I'm breathless. I'm sitting here doing almost nothing, and yet I'm breathless. I have a girlfriend who's had a sinus infection for weeks. Her doctor at this point is like, oh, I don't know what to tell you. Poor thing. So here is the gold, and that's stamped out a lot better. Alright, so let's set that aside. And let's do this one more time. Only we're going to clear heat emboss over it. I don't have a black embossing powder that I like yet anyway. And I don't want to buy any more until I use up what I have. I might as well just toss it at this point. So what I do is I stamp in VersaFine, a little trick that I picked up from a fellow YouTuber, and just clear heat emboss over that. So sorry. So I have my VersaFine here. I was still unpacking some stuff last night, and I found my little tiny cube of VersaFine ink. I was like, oh, you're so cute. I didn't bother to clean my stamps in between the Versamark and the VersaFine. Normally the smell of the ink bothers me, but I can't smell anything right now. No bunny rabbit. Someone is being super naughty. Oh my goodness. Oh, I hope I just didn't mess that up. I'm not liking the way it's stamping in that corner. Maybe it's the magnet. I think that because this magnet has a little, and I've noticed this before, not just right here, and it keeps slipping my mind, but I think because this magnet has washi tape on it, it makes it a little bit thicker than the other magnets, so anything that I have in that corner, I'm trying to hold it down. There we go, look at that. Has a hard time connecting with the paper. That looks a lot better. So for my clear embossing powder, I use the Recollections brand, which you can get at Michael's clear detail embossing powder. I really like the quality. I think that they have a large grain embossing powder as well, which I've never tried, but the clear one is quite nice. So here we are with clear on top of that, and I will set this aside. And set this aside, and let's clean these stamps. And then do the next batch of stamps. I believe this particular kit, the September kit, is still available. Actually, if you're interested, let me bring that up really quick here. Let us see. Yes, it is. It is not sold out yet. Oh my goodness. Stop it. Wow, but like the previous 4 months have sold out. You never know with Hero Arts which one is going to be a runaway hit and which one is going to more gradually sell out. That's why I like having this subscription. You're guaranteed to get it even if you forget to pop online and order it. So about the Hero Arts kits, we might as well be talking about that as we're going. They're $34.99, so they're $35 essentially, and that includes free shipping. And they bill, I'm not sure if they bill everyone at a different time. I just got a little ink on my hands, so I'm using my chamois to clean my hands a little bit. For me, the billing happens like somewhere around the 25th of each month. And I'm not sure if that's just because maybe that was when I signed up and that's the way that it goes through, or if that's the way that it happens. And they automatically deduct my account or your credit card or whatever. I don't think that they do PayPal for the kits. I could be wrong, but I think it's a credit card or debit card. Anyway, so they automatically deduct that, and then the first Monday of every month you get an email that also has the information about the kit and shows it off. Also, there are a few YouTube content creators. The most notable one that I can think of, anyway, that does the Hero Arts. I just got a smudge on that. Do you see that? That was really bright. I don't know if I can fix it. The most notable one that I can think of, yeah, that's better. That does the kit is Jennifer McGuire. So sometimes I will get notification from YouTube that she's uploaded a video about the Hero Arts kit before I even get the email from Hero Arts letting me know what the month's kit is. So that's a good way to find out too, is to follow Jennifer McGuire's channel, which you should anyway, just because she's like the best of the best or whatever. She's been doing this for a long time. She's a good person to follow if you want to stay in the know about things that are happening in the card making world. Anyway, so first Monday of the month you learn about what the kit is. Then you also have the opportunity at that first Monday of the month, they'll have a link right in your email if you want to purchase any of the month's releases, what they call the add-ons, which are usually kind of themed around whatever the theme of the kit is. And if you choose to buy any of those, and I think you have to pay for it before that Thursday, and as long as you do, they'll ship it with your kit, and there's no additional shipping charge. It'll ship free with your kit, which is really cool. I've done that a couple times with different add-ons. Alright, so I think I've got everything from the second batch here. I'm going to put these other stamps away now that I just have the stamps on the side here that I stamped the first time. I'm putting back on the carrier sheet so they don't get lost. Anyway, so it ships on Friday, that first Friday of the week. Or they say that they start shipping the first Friday of that week. I've had stuff that has shipped that first Friday, and then I'll get my kit by like the following Monday, which is amazing. But I've also been the recipient of like not getting it for another full week or even more until after that. So I think it just varies. Okay. Another piece of fuzz, I'm telling you. I just dusted this whole apartment and vacuumed everything and did all of the floors on Sunday. Can you tell that now? No. No, you cannot. For the rabbit's choice of vegetable right now, she has carrot green. She loves the tops of carrots. Man, are they messy. And you go to break her off a bunch of carrot tops so that she can nibble on them. Obviously, rabbits can have the carrots too, but the carrots are really high in sugar, so the carrots, despite it being this well-known thing that rabbits eat lots of carrots, they actually shouldn't, because it's like having, you know, candy bars constantly. However, the greens are very healthy, so you go to break her off some greens and they just, little pieces of it go everywhere, all over the kitchen, and it's like, I just did these floors. I swept them again for like the 900th time this week last night. And it's only Tuesday. And my husband was home. We were in the kitchen together. He was loading the dishwasher. I was sweeping. Gosh, what a change of pace that is, guys. His new job, having him home. I can't even... And in his new job, he's even worked tons of hours. And it's still not anywhere near as much as what what his former employer had him do. But he's usually home, you know, before 10 p.m., which is like a huge thing. We had dinner together last night and did the dishes together and spent time together, and then we went to bed last night together, and I don't mean that the fun way, but just, you know, but like at the same time, and we actually sat in bed and watched our shows. We love John Oliver. We usually catch it on Monday night because he airs on Sunday nights, so we watched John Oliver and the Phil DeFranco show. We don't normally get to do stuff like that, and haven't for years. We've been married for almost 13 years, and we've been together for 15. I've never known him to not work just punishing, grueling 60, 70-hour weeks, so it's a huge adjustment. I loved having him home. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. And we're going to do white first, because that's the one that I have right here. I'm too lazy to reach farther for the gold. So today, he worked at 6 a.m., but he'll be home, he leaves at 3. So that'll be really cool. He'll even be home before our daughter gets home from school, which is so cool. That's never happened. He's missed so much of just everything in life in general, and so much of her babyhood and childhood because of having to work. He's missed all of her firsts. Here's this stamp too, the same thing. It's me, it's not the stamp, it's just not pressing down hard enough. Anyway, so it'll be so nice having him around, except he is kind of like the low man on the totem pole in terms of seniority with this current job, so if he does need time off, he's probably not going to get it. Alright, I think we're done with the white, so I was only doing one page of each. Get that put aside. How does this even happen? Oh, it's the embossing powder. The embossing magic bag powder. Not embossing powder. Okay. Alright, one piece. Cannot breathe today. So we just have to do gold and clear, and then that's it. And then we can start playing. Then the good stuff comes. I'm really excited to use these little, this dot sheet from Daniel Smith. I'm not a very good colorist or watercolorist, so spending money on high quality coloring supplies just seems silly. So I think it's fairly safe to say that I will never have a tube of Daniel Smith, but with these little dot sheets. And I've seen the dot sheets for sale on like Simon Says Stamp, and I don't order often from Simon Says Stamp, but whenever I do place an order, I always think to myself, oh, I should get a dot sheet because they're only, you know, $3 or whatever from Simon Says Stamp. And they're always sold out whenever I go to place an order. Oh, speaking of sales, I did get an email this morning. We might as well be talking about that one. Doing this. So if you are a Hallmark scrapbook shopper, I got an email this morning. Their Lawn Fawn is on sale, 25% off. So not all Lawn Fawn, but a huge amount of Lawn Fawn is on sale at 25% off, including stuff from the Christmas release, the autumn Christmas release this year. It's a really good price. These prices, the sale prices are even lower than like Scrapbook Pal. So it's definitely worth checking out. Let me find it and get a link. Oh, I have an affiliate link. I'll give you my affiliate link. So this is the, oops. I can't spell right, but here we go. So putting in the chat box the affiliate link for Hallmark Scrapbook, their sale. But definitely check it out. If I had money, which I don't right now, I would be picking up a couple of things. I was really interested in those snowfall backdrops from Lawn Fawn, and I couldn't choose. I could not choose between the landscape or the portrait one. Maybe that's how they get you. It's like, oh, no, you gotta buy both of them. We'll see. And I do like the double slider surprise set, guys. The double slider surprise set, the sale price is $26.25. So that's almost a $10 savings from the MSRP. Really awesome. Anyway, I really like the idea of the double slider surprise, but it looks like something that's going to be a little bit too labor intensive for me to assemble. At least in the quantity of cards that I make. Let's see, their Alsums are on sale. The square add-on for Reveal Wheel, which is something that I probably will get down the road. I have the regular Reveal Wheel, so I considered this one a... Look at that, again, it did not stamp. I'm gonna have to do that one again. It's so irritating. Forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, Lawn Fawn. There we go. Let's see. The Thanks a Latte are on sale. So the sale price on the large stamp sets from Lawn Fawn right now is $11.25. So that's even cheaper than Hallmark Scrapbook. Okay. Get that put away. That was the gold, and now we're just gonna do black. Let's see, Holiday Helpers, the Winter Skies stamp set. That's the one with the foxes snuggling. That one's on sale. The Simply Winter Sentiments is on sale. That one I'm interested in as well. And what a good price. It's one of their medium-sized stamp sets, but it comes with a ton of different sentiments in it. And the sale price is only $6. That's an incredible price. That's a lot of value. And then they have the large scripty sentiments on sale, which is also nice. The stitched Christmas frames. They have a couple of the inks. The Say What, which is the gift tag set, and I think it's Nicole Spohr that put, it might be her, I just noticed had a video up. I need to look. I just watched it last night using that stamp set, and they're gorgeous. I wasn't going to get the set, but I'll link the video down below for you. Let me just find it. Cute Christmas tags. Oh, okay, so it was put out by Lawn Fawn. Oh, it was Eloise that did the tags, but they're gorgeous, and now I want that stamp set. Hi, Brina. Am I saying your name right? Brina? Brina? Tell me how to say your name, honey, so that I say it right. Good morning. Brina. Hello, Brina. That's the Lawn Fawn video that came out last night, that now I want those tags. They're gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, so that set's on sale, and now I'm like, Argh! And they have their inks are on sale. The pizza crust and the artichoke and their new embossing ink is on sale as well, and those are the colored ones are $4.50 and the embossing ink is $5.25. And then of course they have the package of the cubes on sale for $8.25. So that's a pretty good value too, because it's like an $11 set. I'm trying to get away from buying cubes of things if I can help it though, because my ink storage does not fit them, and I do not have the space to have a separate tray right now of little ink cubes. So I don't know if you watched any of my videos before we moved at the beginning of September. I actually sold most of my ink cubes. I just got ink on myself again. So if you're just joining me and not watching the replay, I'm playing with the September Hero Arts kit. I'm just stamping out on different colors of embossing powder here on watercolor paper. I'm going to do a white, a black, and a gold. And then I'm going to take this Daniel Smith watercolor dot sheet here, and I'm going to play with it. And I've never used Daniel Smith anything before, much less a dot sheet, so I thought that would be fun. And I'm going to be heat embossing. And I'm getting everything stamped out, and I'll heat emboss it at once. Oh, absolutely. That's why I got into the ink cubes to begin with, Brina, because you could get a lot more for the bang. And I mean, let's be honest, if we own, 900 different colors of ink, are you really using an ink pad enough that you need that much ink? I think is the way that I'm saying it. That's why I went with like the original Distress inks. When I got those, I just got the ink cubes because there's so many colors. There's just no way that you can use all of them all up that would justify the full-size pad. And I used to have a special container that I could store excuse me, I have a cold and I'm having a hard time breathing. I could store my ink cubes in, and I don't have that anymore. There was no room to take it with me when we moved, so I'm in a workspace that's about 30% smaller than it used to be, so I had to cut some stuff out. I decided that I did not need Distress ink and Distress oxides, so I just went with the oxides that fit a lot better in my ink storage anyway. So yeah, I don't mean to knock ink cubes. They're awesome. You can get they have a really good value. You can get a lot of colors that way and a lot of use out of them. And really, there's nothing that a little ink cube can do, a big ink cube and little ink cubes can't do. It's just a smaller thing. I just don't happen to have space for them, so that's just me. Okay, that sounds squeaky clean. Let's get these stamps put away, get them out of the way, and then I'm going to step off camera for a moment. Let me get it heating up actually, and heat emboss. I have to find my heat tool. Oh, come on, stupid thing. My heat tool is slightly off camera and slightly out of my work zone because we have a pet rabbit and she loves to eat cords. and I don't have a space right at this exact time to keep my heat tool plugged in where I am at the desk, so I have to go into the corner and use it. I have been a card maker for 12 years, 13 years. Maybe different mediums. My mother-in-law actually got me started on card making after my husband and I were first married. She had a Cricut and invited me over to play with it, and I fell in love, and then she got me one as a gift. And that was kind of it for me. And since then it has evolved into a great many other things. Let me find the bagging. How long have you been a card maker? Alright, I have 6 pages to heat and emboss, so I was slightly off camera doing that. Once it heats up, slow going today. Oh, yeah. I have to turn this off. I did my sister's wedding invitations this past winter, and like the same thing as you, there's just no, and I don't think it's the Cricut's fault. I think it's that the mats are just so finicky that it's really hard to get a good detail lace cut consistently through all of them. And I don't have a big kit, but I went out and I ended up getting a die and just, hand die cutting at that point. I was like, nope, it's not going to work. And it seems like everybody has a Cricut now, doesn't it? Except nobody does paper crafts with it anymore. Everyone's always doing vinyl and HTV and doing wine glasses, and I don't know. Seems like a lot to me. I like paper crafts, and if somebody's done with it, then they can recycle them. It's better than having extra t-shirts and wine glasses kicking around. The white was very good, slow going. It didn't want to melt, but the gold is doing much better. Everything's fine. I'm just knocking over my paper trimmer. Don't mind the noises. Okay, sorry about that. Oh, I did not just knock over my paper trimmer, I knocked over the squirtboard as well. That's what we call grace, everyone. Grace and talent. That is so sweet that you make cards to give out to other people. I do gift sets. My daughter and I make every Valentine's Day. Her school does gift baskets for the senior center, so we make sets of cards to put into the gift baskets. We like doing it. Okay, so I have some that didn't come out as better as others. I'm still going to color them, and if I use them, I usually put stuff on top of it to cover my flaws, because that's just what I do. Like Bob Ross says, there are no mistakes. Just happy accidents. I still make do with what I make, what I use. A lot of times, especially with these Hero Arts kits, I don't really have a plan. When I start working with something, I just do exactly what I just did. Well, I'm just going to stamp a bunch of stuff out and I'm going to play with it and we'll see where it takes us. So also in the kit, I got these 5 little tiny paintbrushes. I know that there's 6 colors. I don't know. We'll have a look. I do have my own watercolor brushes. Actually, let me pull those out in case I need them. Pull a couple of different sizes out because I'm not sure what how quality these little brushes are anyway. Okay, I'm just grabbing some paper towel. I have just off camera, I have a cup of clean water. I have my iced coffee, which is almost gone. I only live half a mile from a Dunkin' Donuts now, guys. Only half a mile. It's really cold and actually it's raining out right now, so I'm probably not going back for a second one. It was not raining this morning, or earlier this morning when I went out. Alright, let me get these little brushes out of the bag. I will save this cellophane bag for another use. So I've got my little brushes. I've got my dot sheet. Let's pick a paper just to work with here. And let me get this wet. And let's see what this does. Permanent orange, this color is called. Ooh, it really is that easy. Wow. That's so fun. Let's see, what do we want to be orange? Let's play with this. That puts a lot of color, just that one little swipe. There was a lot of color on this little brush. This little brush sucks. Look at the little tip. I don't like it. I'll keep using it though. I don't like it. You know what these little brushes might be good for too? You could use the little brushes as card embellishments, maybe if you're doing one of those waffle flower color my world cards or whatever. You can actually hot glue gun one of these to the front of your card as an embellishment. Why not? They're cute. They're just not really great for actually watercoloring with. That's cute. I am on Instagram. I will type in my Instagram account. Oops, sorry, I shook my phone. I also have a I have an essay shop, so you'll see me talk about stuff for that too, and I also use it for my personal stuff, so it's not just my projects, but you're welcome to have a look over there. Okay, that was fun. Let me try something a little different. Let's wet this first and then put the color in. Oh, there's still a little color in this brush I left from yesterday. I thought I cleaned this one. Oh, maybe maybe I didn't. This might have been the one that was left on my desk. That's okay. We're going to use red anyway. There are no mistakes. This one is called Pyrrole Scarlet. I'm not sure how to say that. I'm just going to try dabbing the color in onto the water. I'm just playing, guys. That's all I'm doing. Pick up a little bit more color. And more water. This is a really nice color. Now my friend Dee, fellow Etsy seller, she does crochet and crochet patterns. Patterns. She's very talented. She's an art student, and she loves Daniel Smith. So I told her that, we've talked about Daniel Smith before, but I told her that I had some dot sheets to play with. She was excited for me. So both of those seem to work just fine. My water is starting to look a little red though. Let's play with some brown. Mummy Bozite. I'm not sure how to say that. I think it's Bozite. Let's play with the little brush and get some of that. What a neat idea. I do have some tube watercolors. Not Daniel Smith, of course. But I wonder if that's a great idea for traveling. Like if you do a lot of coloring on the go. I do a lot in the spring months. I take a lot of projects with me to go because we're traveling everywhere for my daughter's softball. But I wonder if you could make your own dot sheets if you had Daniel Smith or other similar watercolors that come in the little tubes. Let me see if I can pull mine out. I'll show you what I'm talking about. If I can find them with relative ease. Oh look, I found my water brush. I kind of tossed all of my watercoloring stuff into a drawer, but I haven't really organized the drawer. This is what I have for watercolors. I got this at Michael's, this Reeves set here. I might as well keep this out in case I need some other colors. And I made my own little swatches with them as well. Anyway, so I wonder if you could put these and make your own little dot sheets. That'd be fun. Take them coloring on the go. This is a really pretty brown color. I like it. This brush, however, is not doing too hot. That's okay. So just a little bit more light-handed with that brown, just to try to get some different, oh, I just stuck my finger right into it. Some different color variations. Ooh, we should try that. What does she call it? Amy R does messy watercoloring on purpose. I'm not doing it on purpose, I just suck, but and it looked really neat. We'll try that on one of the other ones. I don't think this brown one is gonna, do I have a purple? Sap green and carmine and iso idoline yellow are the other colors that I have. Let's have a look at those. They're definitely not foam. I don't know if you can see. They're not bristles, but it's really, oops, not in the camera. Sorry. I don't know if it's going to adjust or not. They're not bristles. And it's not foam. Or it might be foam, just really interesting quality foam. And they might, under someone who has actual talent though, they might work fine, Rena. I, of course, am not kidding when I say things like I'm an appalling watercolor. That's why I love the Tombow dual brush markers, is because you can watercolor without having to watercolor. That's a really pretty color, this yellow. It reminds me more of like a gold, not like a metallic gold, but a nice rich yellow gold. Alright, there's one more color that I want to take a peek at. I want to look, actually there's two that I haven't seen yet, but I really want to see this green. So, that is gorgeous. Of course, I'm from New Hampshire. Sap is not green. Or at least the kind of sap that we get. Not green. I have kind of an idea of something that I want to try. I want to see if I can pull some of that yellow in. Now that I like. I don't know what kind of branch this is that has two different kinds of leaves on it. Maybe this isn't leaves, maybe this is some kind of a... I don't know. I'm not a plant person. Let's try more of that green. It's a beautiful green and it's a beautiful yellow, and I like the way that they look together here. Chinese lantern. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna have to Google it. I have a black thumb, so are spider plants easy to keep alive? My mother's bringing over her clippings. She was here over the weekend and says that my kitchen looks bare without plants. She doesn't believe that I have a black thumb. Chinese lantern. It is supposed to be red, not green. Okay. Oops, I didn't know that. I don't know plants very well. I have other sheets. We'll color the next one properly. We'll call this one just in the name of science. I totally meant to do this on purpose. I knew all of that. You sound like my husband. Chinese lantern. Yeah, you know what? That would have been an easy thing to do, would have been to look at how they colored it, wouldn't it? I'm sitting here like, yeah, that would have been a good idea. They do look, I have Google up. They do look really pretty. It's actually kind of like a nice persimmony, orangey looking color. It's quite lovely. I'd kill it. I'd kill it very quick. Let's see. So she's talking about the packaging, which I don't think that I have. Yeah, I don't have that anymore. I do have the, or maybe this is what she means. Is this what you mean? The thing that the dies are on? That's this plant here. It is really pretty. It almost, is it like a flower or is it a fruit? What is that? It's a very pretty color. Chinese lantern. Tell me everything you know. Let's look at this carmine too while we're at it. Ooh, beautiful. I like that one a lot. This one would have been more appropriate to put on my maple leaf here. Well, it's a very pretty plant. Chinese lantern, they say. Here, we'll make this one red too. I want more of that orange. These dot sheets are so easy to use. I think I want some yellow. Oh, I ruined my yellow one. There we go. I'm going to set this aside to dry on its own. I've got enough pages that I don't need to speed heat it. Now, the white one I think I'll save for the messy watercoloring technique. Where is my other black one? Oh, here it is. Oh, I wanted to do a Chinese lantern. This one came out better. So I think this one is Chinese lantern as well. Just different orientation for the branches. Let's try doing this one more properly. It's sort of a nice orange yellow kind of fruit. Let me look at the Google picture again. So it's kind of orangey reddish on the top, and then it kind of descends into a yellowy color. It's quite lovely. Let's try that. Let's start with some scarlet. At the top. Strawberry, tomato, winter cherry, and bladder cherry. That sounds fun. And then orange. And then a tiny little bit of yellow. That was a little bit more than a tiny bit of yellow, but that's okay. I like it. I think it's beautiful. Not my coloring, but the Chinese layer. What kind of greens are they? This is a nice sort of yellow green. So we'll just proceed with the way that we were doing the greens. Oh, which way are they? On the top, I guess, doesn't matter. Someone's here. I just heard a car door. Not necessarily here for us, but someone just arrived at the building here. I ordered on Saturday more rigid mailers to ship for my Etsy shop and my eBay store. I ordered them on Saturday and they were here Monday morning yesterday by like 9 a.m. yesterday. Crazy. That's some fast shipping. This is a little bit more yellow than I wanted to bring into it, so I'll come back with the green. I'm too heavy-handed with my yellow. That's better. Blend it out with the green. What time is it? On the East Coast. Okay, so kind of yellow-green. I like it. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think, Brina? Is it kind of close-ish? I think I'd also like to try my my Tombow markers with these as well to see what kind of blends I can get. Where's my brown? Uh-oh, I think I accidentally used my brown for something else. I'm gonna have to borrow another one. So it is fruit. Are they edible? I don't know. They are really pretty, and if you're unfamiliar with them like I am, I encourage you to Google Chinese lantern. There's a photograph of a gentleman who literally is like in a row of Chinese lantern, and it's gorgeous. It's so overwhelmingly orange. It's a beautiful, beautiful color. Oh, here's people boiling it. Oh, I guess not to eat, though. I think they're boiling it to preserve it for a decoration. They're boiling it to preserve the color for decoration, so it looks like probably it's not an edible thing. It is quite lovely, though. I don't use Copics. I have like 2 Copics. Like 2, literally 2. I use Spectrum Noir markers, which are also alcohol markers. They're not, it's not as broad of a range of colors. They're not quite as high quality as the Copics, I guess you could say. I don't want to say they're generic Copics. They're not as high end as Copic, but they do have quite a nice selection. There's a few. I'm going to grab my color chart for you, so that's why it sounds like I'm getting farther away here. I've got to stand up and reach it off a shelf. There's certainly some flaws about the Spectrum Noirs, but they're not anywhere near as expensive as the Copics, which is why I went with my Spectrum Noirs. Here's the color chart. And I should point out that I printed this on non-alcohol ink friendly ink in my printer, so that's why some of my color chart here looks a little blah. I do plan to redo it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Anyway, so this is the complete collection that they offer for Spectrum Noir. They did just come out with like, I don't know, 24 or 48 new colors last year or the year before. So this is complete as of right now, but as you can see, so some of the range of the reds aren't there. There's a lot of holes with the yellows. Not so much with the yellows because I make do, but with the reds I find out to get the red shades that I want, I have to combine a lot from the dark red and the darker side of the corals here to get the shade that I want. So it's certainly not perfect, but it is way, 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 way less expensive than Copics, which can range up to $8 or even more per marker. These ones are, if you keep an eye out for deals, you can get a set of 6 for less than $10. And I'll link where I got most of mine if you're interested in checking them out. And they do periodically run sales and things. I would highly recommend them for anybody that's on a budget. If you are not part of the Stamp Junkies Facebook group. We've been talking about there in the past couple of weeks that Copic, and I forget who makes them, but they've announced that their prices are going to start going up even. And there, of course, are people who will pay for those. But there are a lot of people that just can't. I don't know about you, but I don't have thousands of dollars literally to drop on markers. So I think it took me probably a good year and a half to collect all of these, but keeping an eye out for sales and all of those things, it definitely, it probably less than $200 or $300 for all of these, which is still, you know, a lot of money. Let me see. So I get mine from consumercrafts.com. They have the whole Spectrum Noir line, and you do keep an eye out there, and they do offer, especially on the weekends, they do offer coupon codes, and they do free sale promotions, and things like that. Yeah, they do run them on sales for Michaels and Hobby Lobby. I was going to try to collect Copics, and that was kind of my thing, was every time I would go to Michaels, I would just use my 40 or 50% off coupon and just grab another Copic or whatever, but I've really kind of scaled back on that dream a little bit, just kind of really thinking about the total scope of how much money it costs to collect all of those, and then with the prices going up, there's just no way that I can reasonably collect. I do have in my Copics, where are they? I don't even know where let me grab my 2 Copics. Or maybe I have a couple more than that, I don't even know. But I did make sure to grab, these ones aren't Copics, these are my Copics. Okay, so I have 5 Copics. I did grab the, what color is it? I do have the colorless blender, which is a 0, and I do have the refill for that. And the reason why I have the colorless blender, and of course the Copics and the Spectrum Noir, they're all alcohol markers, so you can use them together. I have this one because my Spectrum Noir colorless blender ran dry, and I couldn't find the replacement for it. But I knew that the Copic replacements were readily available on Scrapbook Pal, so I was like, you know what, I'll just switch that one over to the Copic, and I do have a black as well, because I had kind of the same problem with my Spectrum Noir later when that one ran dry, is that I had a hard time finding the black, and I know that I can get the replacements for this one. And then these ones I think were just on clearance somewhere, and I picked them up, or on sale, or I had a coupon for it. So this is literally it for my Copic collection. And these ones are, what are they called? Studio 71 markers, which are also available at Consumer Crafts. And they worked fine, but this is a brand new pack of 5, and one of them was dry when I opened it brand new, so I stopped buying them right then and there. I was going to get a couple packs to kind of supplement my Spectrum Noirs, and I just, if 20% of them are going to arrive dry, then I'm not even going to bother. Anyway, so that's my Spectrum Noir. I do have a link for Consumer Crafts, the alcohol markers, because I'm an affiliate for them too. I think that works. No, it's not going to work. Yeah, it's not going to let me link it, but I will give you the website itself. Let's see. consumercrafts.com. And if, like, kind of the thing that I feel with Consumer Crafts, that if it's not on sale, just wait longer. And then it'll be on sale. Unless it's an emergency, then you can always wait for Consumer Crafts to go on sale, because everything cycles through the sales probably at least once a month. I did not try to rehydrate it with alcohol. I probably could. You know, that didn't even occur to me. They were really inexpensive. I think it was literally just a couple of bucks, and I was swatching out, and I was like, oh, this is dry. I just am not gonna, bother picking up anymore, and just kind of set it aside. I will say, though, that this marker right here that came in the kit, the Blue Lagoon, is gorgeous. So this one I've used a few times. And their tips are not all that great either. They see how it's kind of crumbly. I don't recommend these, but this color is really nice. I've used this a bunch of times. And then with the Spectrum Noir comes, let me grab a Spectrum Noir to show ya. The tips, it comes in 2 tips like the Copics, unlike a Copic, which has, it has the brush tip here. Which admittedly is very nice, and I do enjoy using it. And then they also have the bullet point chisel or whatever they call it, which is nice. I never use that end. Spectrum Noir also has that kind of chiseled end, and they use a bullet point as their tip. So you can do a lot of nice fine detailed work with it, but you don't get the brush flexibleness that you get with the Copic. Which is fine. I'm so accustomed to using them over the Copics that I don't really notice and or care. But you can switch. You have to get craft nibs, and you can switch. This is what you can get. You have to cut them down to fit, but you can pull this bullet point out, and you can put the craft nibs in there, and you can actually make. You could make these. Let me find one that is. I've done a couple of them. You can make them your own brush tip. Of course, I've got to find one. I can't think. Which one have I done it to? I have them marked. Here we go. So what I did when I replaced some of my, I didn't replace my bullet nibs on these ones. I actually pulled out the chisel ones because I don't use them as much, and this is what it looks like when you replace the nib with the generic craft ones here. Kind of like, not quite the same quality as Copic, but close. Anyway, so those are the kind of the things that you can do with Spectrum Noir. But again, I don't even, only a couple of them that I've switched. How does, oh, hi baby. My husband's just popped in the chat. I'm like, how does your husband? You must be on break. And I'm looking at the name and I'm like, that name looks familiar. Oh my God, that's my husband. Honey, say hi, honey. Anyway, so I didn't really find the need to switch all of those. I literally just did a couple of them. And now that I have more practice with the Spectrum Noir, I'm so used to these bullet points that I hadn't even switched the rest over. Don't even care. And I still have, you know, these packages sitting here that have been sitting here for years. Back to coloring. And yes, my husband does do things to help out. So we can probably make these vases, I think, different colors just to bring a little bit of... I wanted purple, so let me get some purple. Might as well use some of these watercolors while I'm right here. We have a purple vase in our house, so whenever I think of vases, I always think of purple. It was a thrift store find before my husband and I got married. We were on vacation in Florida and found just this really fun hand-painted large purple vase. And we liked it so much that we bought it and we put it in our suitcase and it made it home. So now I have my purple vase. There's something else I wanted purple for. I don't remember what that was. Oh, I think the berries on that that other one there. This one I don't think that I stamped it cleanly. Let's see. Yeah, they should actually be like defined berries. That's fine. I know I've noticed that I've switched to just using my regular paintbrush at this point. Just seems to go quicker. I'm not a big fan of the foam. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. We're going to paint it anyway. I've just realized that Hero Arts, I mean, I've known this, but it just occurred to me that Hero Arts has their own line of watercolors. I wonder what the, not that I mind, but wonder why the Daniel Smith instead of a little sampling of their own watercolors to try to sell them. I don't know. So we have another vase here and another branch. Let's do I want a different color for the vase? What do I have? Do I have any blue? I must have some blue somewhere. Or not. Yellow. Is this blue? I think this is blue. Let's do a nice blue vase. Yeah, they are liquid. I think everyone kind of has their own watercolor lines coming out now. The Avery L watercolors look gorgeous. I was watching some of the videos with that. Oh my gosh, they look amazing. Beautiful colors. I love Avery L. I actually have a video coming out soon from Avery L. Working on some of my Christmas cards already. Okay. Blue. Oh, and here's a nice little plate. Which I'm not sure what that plate is for. Does it go underneath a vase? I don't know. Let's make it yellow. It feels like it's supposed to be yellow, though. And if we don't use it, then we don't use it. It's not that big of a deal. Oh, you know what I wanted to do first, though? Oh, hey, look! Bunny Rabbit's back. She objects to this treatment. Is anyone else's life completely dominated by your pets? Stop it. One little naughty. Okay. Oh yeah, the brown. I do love this Chinese lantern. What? The rabbit is now underfoot. Nibbling on my ankle trying to get my attention. Like I'm going to let her into the room to chew on my daughter's stuff. You love it. I love it. Okay. So let's do one of the white ones. And then I have to get going and act like a real person who has things to do today. But I want to color all day. This is the one that didn't come out as well, so we'll do this one. Actually, they both didn't come out very well, so it doesn't matter. So I've been watching Amy R. do messy watercoloring, where she just kind of like plops stuff on and lets it go out the line, so I thought it would be fun to try that as well, and I thought doing it on the white might be fun. But I want to switch to a different brush if I can find it. Where did I put it? I think that my Sudafed is also starting to wear off, and I'm going to progressively sound even more and more gross, which is also a good indication that you need to pack it up soon. I did bring out the watercolor brush that I wanted to use, and I thought I put it on the desk, and now it's gone. Well, this isn't a good one, but it'll do. Maybe. This is a Royal and Langnickel brush. It's not my favorite. Okay, so with the Chinese lantern one, let's do that one because it was my favorite. And it starts with the red, nice and wet. So just kind of dropping the color and not really caring too much about the lines. It's not dark enough. I want it darker. Here we go. That's what I'm looking for right there. More red. And now orange. This one I'm using all the colors that came in that dot sheet. And just I feel like Amy R's looked better. It seems like whenever I try to do something purposefully, it doesn't work out the way that I want it to. Maybe these images that I'm using are just too small for messy watercolor. I'm not sure. That one has too much water, but that's okay. And then I want a little bit of that yellow. I could be doing this all day. All day. Except I'm starting to progressively feel worse and worse here. Okay. Man, I'm dropping stuff. A little bit more red. Let's see if I can find that Amy R video talking about. Or she's done a couple. Also known as prairie paper and ink. Here we go. I should use Copic markers on this one as well. Not something that I'm going to be doing. Not quite dry yet. Alright, now we need some green. It's gorgeous sap green. I wonder what kind of watercolor paper they put the dots on, because this is a nice paper too. It's really thin. I don't happen to say. And this one, if you recall correctly, I didn't press down hard enough with the Versamark, so my heat embossing is a little off on this one, which is why I thought it would be good for this intentional messy coloring technique. Let's see. Gosh, there's nothing like a project like this, though, to get you into a fall mood. Alright, going for more yellow. I've got kind of a big clot of watercolor right there. Get some of it off. It's too much yellow. Too much yellow. Go over it again in green. Needs more green. You know, I'm thinking this might be a really fun, maybe not this particular stamp set, but this technique might be really fun to do with kids. And my reasoning behind that is because they will just keep going and going and going and going and going and adding more color on it, and you don't even need to worry about the lines. I don't know about your kids, but my daughter gets really upset if she goes out the lines, and with something like this you can really encourage a lot of thinking outside the box. I don't know, I really like the way that that looks. I think that I might like it to be a little bit more green, so I might let this dry a little bit and go back over it again. And I really like those berries, and I don't want to mess with it too much because there's too much water on here and it's gonna possibly spill over and make a mess, but I don't know. Gosh, this is so much fun. I wish we could just do this all day long every day. Those are great ages for crafts too. Do they like to make cards? I was reading something. Oh, that's so cute. My daughter loves to make cards for everyone. I was reading something about just an article written by a mother, a fellow card maker, about how she lets her kids use her expensive like Copics and stuff in the craft room just because it helps to teach them about taking care of things and being responsible and so on and so forth. And I'm like, oh my god, there's no way. There's no way that would ever happen in my house. I might faint. Just bringing a lot of water on just because it sounded fun. I like doing emboss resist techniques with heat embossing with white. I have a very hard time seeing what I'm doing with these though. Really hard time seeing. It's probably just my eyesight, but that's why I thought that would be fun. A fun technique to play with. Going over the lines. I'm just playing right now, guys. Don't mind me. I am probably gonna wrap this up though. Oh, I like the way that light blue looks. Yeah. Starting to feel progressively worse and worse as my Sunapee is wearing off, so it is probably time for me to go. I still have a couple more Chinese lanterns to color, and then I'm probably going to stamp out more of them because these are really pretty, and thank you, Brina, for telling me what this is, because there's no way I ever would have known or thought to even look it up, and I think that they're gorgeous, so I'm going to have fun coloring more. Cornstarch, I'm assuming, is a derivative of corn, and that's why. Aw, poor thing. Oh god, how hard must that be? Because are you in the United States? Everything in the United States is corn. It's so heavily subsidized. Got my dot sheet dirty. it must be so hard to find anything. Gosh, corn is even in all of our pet food. Well, not all of it, but in a lot of pet foods. And I'm just cleaning up a little bit. I made a mess over on the side here with getting my dot sheet and the little dabs of watercolor. I don't like things that are messy, so I'd rather clean it up. And oh gosh, is just breathing bother your child? Just breathing in the corn air? Oh, the poor thing. It must be so hard to just find anything. Cereal, everything. Everything is corn. I watch all those documentaries about how corn saturated we all are. It's just so subsidized and it's so cheap. Oh, the poor thing. I'm so sorry. How awful. Squeaky clean, that's the way I like it. Oh my god! What does she eat then, the poor thing? Oh, just vegetables, yeah? I mean, other than corn. Oh. That's so hard. There's several children in my daughter's school that have peanut allergies and other nut allergies. Just a vegan diet, yeah. Now, does your whole family do that along with her? Oh man, I can't even imagine what your poor grocery bills must look like. It really, if you've got somebody that has a special diet. Oh man, poor thing. I'm so sorry you guys have to go through that. Is it something that that she'll grow out of? I know some children have allergies when they're younger and they can grow out of them a little bit, or is it sort of like an anaphylactic thing for her? Because oh my god, that would be so awful. Oh, poor thing. I'm so sorry for all you guys. Do you spend a lot of time on Pinterest trying to find different food options for her? Oh, there is something that I wanted to show off. Oh, jeez. I'm sorry. Poor thing. It's one of those things, like, as an outsider, you're like, oh my god, I don't even want to know how awful that must have been to find out, you know, as a parent, that all of these poor things are happening to your kid. I mean, obviously you don't just, like, give birth and then get handed a guide on how to take care of that child. Like, how awful that your daughter has had to go through the experience of figuring out that she's allergic to those things. Poor thing. I'm so sorry. I did want to show you guys too before we go. She's not here right now, but she's been to some of my other live streams. Teresa sent me a card that I got in the mail that I wanted to show off. Look at how gorgeous this is. Speaking of being inspired by watercolor techniques over white embossing, look at how gorgeous and perfect her embossing is. I've never seen anything quite so lovely before, actually. If you see this, Teresa, you will have to let me know what embossing pattern that you use, because this came out amazing. And look at this gorgeous watercoloring and these colors. Tell me everything that you used in this card. And her sequins, gorgeous. And she has this friend die cut here, and it has a little vellum behind it. Just gorgeous. That says you're awesome. Thank you, Teresa. I love it. I'm going to prepare a letter to send back to you. I saved the envelope with your address on it. So I wanted to show that off before I left. Obviously, this helped to kind of inspire my my watercolor today. Oh, don't be silly. You're not hiking my YouTube live. Don't be silly. Let me know if there's anything that I can do to help. I'm a huge Pinterest freak, so if you're on Pinterest, Definitely we can connect over there, and maybe we could share recipes and stuff. I do have a couple of vegan friends that I will cook for occasionally. Of course, with your daughter's specific allergies, and it sounds like she might have some things going on that you haven't even mentioned, so you'll obviously have to screen everything, but we can connect on Pinterest as well and share recipes. We don't have any genuine diet restrictions in this house, aside from I'm allergic to strawberries, so we don't eat strawberries. Other than that, the doctor said don't eat beef very often, so, but that's not like an allergy thing, so I do like to cook. Oh, thank you so much. And I will see that. I can't see it right now because my phone is here. But when I end this, I'll look on Instagram, and I'll certainly follow your page back. I love Instagram. I just posted a video this morning, not a video, a picture this morning of our new welcome mat for our apartment that arrived. That's what I was doing at the post office this morning. Anyway, I'm gonna get going because I feel like crap and I'm getting worse and worse. Oh yeah, all right. So if you have, definitely I will definitely check out your page now. I like to get some inspiration. I genuinely have no idea what I'm going to do. And, you know, if you're new around here, I'm more of like a scene builder when I make my cards. I like to make scenes of, you know, people in the woods or whatever. So working with like just straight florals is always something, oop, I'm knocking stuff over, is always something that I struggle with. Like I could never think to do this just because this is too nice, you know? This would never occur to me. It's just gorgeous with all the flowers, so I definitely do need to look for inspiration sometimes, so I'll definitely check out your page. But thanks so much for joining me here this morning. I wish you well. I am going to try to go live at least once a week. I don't know how that's going to go. So far I've been able to do it the past couple of weeks, but whatever. And I don't think of it as, you're certainly not hiking or stealing my YouTube. I genuinely like started my YouTube channel because I don't have any local friends that craft, and I was just trying to reach out and meet people. So I kind of think of it as just hanging out with some friends, just chatting. And that's it. But anyway, I'm going to go because I feel like poop. But thanks very much. I will check out your YouTube, and take care, and hugs to your family and to your daughter especially. And I will talk to you later. I have to get my phone down and then I will disconnect.